One of the most important tips I have when it comes to making sure that as a landlord you have little to no vacancy time in between tenants is making sure that whatever lease you're using requires that the current tenant provide 60 days notice before they're not going to be renewing their lease. So 60 days notice to vacate rather than 30 days, which is what a typical lease will require. And the reason for that is if you are a landlord or even a resident of South Florida, you probably know that most residential properties are governed by a homeowners association or a condo association. And when they're governed by one of those associations, they're almost always required to have any prospective tenants apply through the association. And that's after you've already approved the tenant. Not only that, but those associations usually take between 2 weeks and 30 days to approve a prospective tenant to reside in the community. So when a tenant gives us 60 days notice, we've got twice as much time to find a tenant on our end and get them through that process of approval from the HOA. So the second a tenant gives us notice that they are not going to be renewing their lease, the first thing that we do is we reach out to them to schedule a showing schedule, and we start marketing the property and start showing it while the tenant's in place. And almost always we're able to find a tenant, get them approved by the HOA before the property even becomes vacant. If we didn't do that, there's a chance that with the governing body having to approve the tenant as well, that the property would sit vacant from anywhere from 2 weeks, that's best case scenario, to 30 days extra just because you're waiting for that approval process. So many times what we find is that by the time that the tenant's moving out, we've got an approved tenant by the HOA and by us. And all we have to do is get in there, get the property ready for rent, repair and maintenance wise, and move the next tenant in with little to no vacancy. If you have any questions about this or any questions about property management in South Florida in general, please feel free to give me a call. And thank you so much for watching as always.